We can all get a little down. Every so often, we may even be so far down that our friends and family need to pick us back up to help us get us back on our feet. This is just a part of being human. And then there's depression. Depression is hard, can last for days on end, and almost always requires some external force to break us out of it. If you've been there, you know what I'm saying. If you haven't, then it may be harder to understand, but statistically speaking, you probably know someone who has dealt with it firsthand. What we're going to be talking about today is clinical depression, often called depressive disorder by mental health professionals. This is a serious, global issue, so we're going to discuss it in serious global terms. Along the way, we hope you learn something that can help you or someone you love to deal with the beast that is depression. Keep in mind that all of this information is publicly available and meant to be used only for informational purposes. In no way is any of this meant to be a diagnostic tool or a way to avoid talking to your doctor. We ask that you please listen responsibly, and if this information gets too dark or disturbing, feel free to take a break and come back when you're ready. As always, please feel free to comment on what you've learned and share your own story if you feel so inclined. Also, please like and share our videos so that we can continue to get the word out about these serious mental health issues. Now, let's talk about the 7 things you should know about depression. Fact number 1. Depression is a series of depressive episodes which are different from regular mood fluctuations. Each episode lasts most of the day, nearly every day for at least 2 weeks. You can still be diagnosed with depression with other patterns, but this is the generally accepted threshold to define depressive disorder. Symptoms of depression can include poor concentration, feelings of excessive guilt or low self-worth, hopelessness about the future, thoughts about dying or suicide, a disrupted sleep pattern, sudden changes in appetite or weight, and feeling very tired or low in available energy. Typically, the diagnosis comes when these changes cause difficulties in all aspects of a person's life. The symptoms may be categorized as mild, moderate, or severe, but they are always a burden to the depressed person. Fact number 2. There are 3 patterns of depressive episodes. First, there is the single episode depressive disorder, meaning that it is the person's first and only episode. This diagnosis might be missed if the person doesn't think of their depression as a burdensome event. More likely, this is a diagnosis that comes when the depressive episode has lasted for weeks or months and has become too troublesome to bear. Second, there is the recurrent depressive disorder, which is to say that the person has a history of at least 2 depressive episodes. Usually, there would be a documented history of depression. This diagnosis is almost always combined with an anxiety disorder as well. Thirdly, there is bipolar disorder. The diagnosis of bipolar disorder can take some time and a great deal of documentation, as we discussed in our previous video. This disorder is typified by periods of depressive episodes alternating with manic or hypomanic symptoms like euphoria, irritability, energy spikes, excessive talkativeness, racing thoughts, an overinflated sense of self-esteem, the decreased need for sleep, constant distractibility, and impulsive or reckless behavior. So now that we know what depressive disorder is, by the book, we can look at some of the lesser known facts about it. That brings us to our 3rd fact. Fact number 3, depression is closely related to and affected by physical health. Lack of physical activity or harmful use of drugs and alcohol can be direct risk factors, as most of us are aware. What most of us don't know or realize is that these same behavioral triggers for depression are also risk factors for more serious physical conditions like cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, and respiratory diseases of all kinds. Depression can quite understandably spring from any of these conditions. Fact number 4. There are many effective treatments for depression. While most of the discussion surrounding this topic is necessarily dark and, well, depressing, it's important to remind ourselves that there is always a way to fight back against that darkness. Psychological treatments are always the first treatments for depression. Talking out your problems can change your entire outlook on them. There are many professionals out there who get paid to do exactly that. And with the growth of online therapy sites, it's even easier to find somebody who will listen. Fact number 5. Self-care can play an important role in managing the symptoms of depression. In addition, it's a great way to promote your overall well-being. Some of the things you can do on your own might include staying connected to friends and family, regular exercise, regular schedules for eating and sleeping, and talking to a trusted friend or family member about your feelings. Remember that cutting back on alcohol or illicit drug use during a depressive episode might just be what you need to get your thoughts back under control. These substances can make depression worse, especially if used excessively. Dark thoughts and fears can seem overwhelming when depression takes over. Our sixth fact deals exactly with that. Fact number 6. Suicidal thoughts are fairly common during depressive episodes, especially among young people and the elderly. These thoughts can get very deep and dark. This is perfectly normal, but it is not okay. Suicidal ideation, or believing that suicide is a solution to your problems, is a serious problem with depressive disorder. It's important to remember during these times, should it happen, that many people have gone through what you're experiencing, and they have found the help that they needed to get through. You are not alone. There are doctors, therapists, counselors, nurses, and even trained personal care attendants who are willing and able to talk at a moment's notice. As serious as this fact was, it's important to reiterate how important this topic is overall, which ties into our 7th and final fact. Fact number 7. According to the World Health Organization's Comprehensive Mental Health Action Plan for the years 2013 through 2030, depressive disorder alone accounts for 4.3% of the global burden of disease and is among the largest single causes of disability worldwide. What this means is exactly what we said before. People with major depression and schizophrenia have a 40 to 60% greater chance of dying prematurely than the general population. This is likely due to the physical health problems that are often left unattended due to depression. Heart disease, cancer, and diabetes, if left unchecked, can be seriously debilitating, which again feeds into greater and deeper depression. Suicide is the second most common cause of death among young people aged 18 to 24 worldwide. I hope we have relayed important information to you today in our 7 Things You Should Know About Depression 2023 video. Leave us a comment below about your thoughts on this very pressing subject. As always, if you or someone you know is feeling suicidal, no matter what other things might be affecting you or them, you need to seek help. You can call the National Suicide Prevention Line by dialing 988. You can also text your message, whatever it is, to 988. Leave us a like if you like this video and want to see more from us. Or feel free to subscribe to our channel and never miss another one of our videos if you just can't live without us.